The Philippines, a nation of over 7,600 islands, stretches like a string of emeralds across the western Pacific Ocean. Each island, large or small, is surrounded by vast expanses of water, making the sea not just a boundary, but a lifeline for millions of Filipinos. The country is truly defined by its surrounding seas, which shape its culture, economy, and destiny. Its extensive coastline, one of the longest in the world, is both a source of immense natural wealth, teeming with marine life and resources, and a daunting security challenge, vulnerable to threats from piracy, smuggling, and territorial disputes. For decades, the Philippine Navy struggled with outdated ships and limited resources, even as regional tensions rose and neighboring countries modernized their fleets. The Navy's aging vessels often stood as silent witnesses to the nation's struggle to keep pace with a rapidly changing maritime environment. But today, September 12, 2025, marks a turning point, a new era for the Navy. The dawn breaks not just over the horizon, but over the future of Philippine maritime defense. The Philippines sits astride some of the world's most vital shipping lanes in the South China Sea. Every day, thousands of vessels pass through these waters, carrying goods that fuel economies across Asia and beyond. This makes the nation's maritime security crucial, not only for its own prosperity, but for the stability of global trade. The Navy's mission is clear: to protect the nation's rights, resources, and sovereignty in these contested waters. Their presence ensures that the Philippines can defend its interests and uphold its responsibilities as a maritime nation. After years of neglect, modernization has become a national priority. The government has committed to revitalizing the fleet, investing in new ships, state-of-the-art technology, and improved training for sailors and officers alike. The Navy is now transforming, acquiring advanced ships, new technologies, and forging stronger alliances with regional and global partners. These partnerships are vital for sharing intelligence, conducting joint exercises, and building a united front against common threats. This transformation is more than just new hardware. It's a complete overhaul of doctrine, training, and strategy. The Navy is embracing modern tactics and preparing its personnel for the complex challenges of 21st century maritime security. The goal is ambitious: to build a multi-mission force ready to patrol, deter, and defend at a moment's notice. Whether responding to natural disasters, enforcing maritime law, or standing guard against external threats, the Navy is preparing to meet every challenge. The archipelago's shield is finally being forged into a modern, reliable defense, one that will safeguard the nation's future and ensure that the seas surrounding the Philippines remain a source of strength and pride for generations to come. To truly appreciate the Navy's remarkable transformation, we must first look back at the decades it spent grappling with outdated ships and limited resources. For much of its recent history, the Navy was hampered by a lack of modernization, operating with vessels that had long surpassed their prime. Year after year, the fleet was little more than a patchwork of aging warships, many inherited from previous generations, struggling to keep up with the demands of a rapidly changing maritime environment. These ships, battered by time and the elements, were no match for the sophisticated threats posed by regional rivals or the evolving challenges of the 21st century. The Navy's capabilities were stretched dangerously thin. With few anti-submarine warfare tools, limited air support, and outdated surveillance systems, crews were often forced to do more with less, patrolling vast and vulnerable waters with minimal resources. This lack of capacity meant that illegal fishing, rampant smuggling, and even foreign incursions into Philippine waters frequently went unchallenged, threatening both national security and the livelihoods of local communities. Decades of chronic underinvestment left the Navy reactive, rather than proactive, unable to anticipate or deter threats before they escalated. After the Cold War, the government's focus shifted almost entirely to internal security, sidelining both the Navy and Air Force. Resources were diverted elsewhere, and maritime defense was no longer a priority. But as China's ambitions in the South China Sea became increasingly assertive, the urgency for a credible external defense force could no longer be ignored. The nation faced a stark reality: without a modern Navy, its sovereignty and maritime rights were at risk. The passage of the 2012 revised AFP Modernization Act marked a historic turning point. For the first time in decades, significant funding and a clear roadmap were provided to overhaul the Navy's capabilities and infrastructure. With strong public support, the government committed to a comprehensive multi-year modernization plan. This ambitious effort aimed to transform the Navy from a neglected force into a capable and confident guardian of the archipelago's vast maritime domain. The stage was finally set for a true maritime transformation, one that would restore pride, security, and a renewed sense of purpose to the Philippine Navy. The Navy's modernization is most visible in its new fleet. Leading the charge are the Jose Rizal-class frigates, modern, missile-armed, and equipped with advanced sensors. New HDC 3100 corvettes and Pohang-class ships boost anti-submarine and littoral combat power. Amphibious Tarlac-class ships enable rapid troop deployment and disaster response. Logistics vessels extend the Navy's reach across distant waters. The BrahMos supersonic missile system deployed on shore creates a powerful deterrent against hostile ships. Together, these assets form a layered defense, transforming the Navy into a true maritime power. The Philippine fleet is no longer just a coastal patrol, it's a force to be reckoned with. The most dramatic leap is the creation of the Philippines' first submarine force. Submarines are stealthy, lethal, and shift the balance of power, forcing adversaries to think twice. The Scorpene class, acquired with French partnership, will form the backbone of this new capability. These subs can gather intelligence, monitor enemy movements, and strike with torpedoes or missiles, all while remaining undetected. Even a small submarine fleet changes the strategic calculus in the West Philippine Sea. Building this force requires new infrastructure, intensive training, and a professional corps. The Navy has invested in both hardware and people, sending sailors abroad for world-class training. By 2025, the Philippines is not just buying submarines, it's building a sustainable underwater warfare capability. Control of the sea depends on control of the air. The Navy's air arm, once limited to a handful of old helicopters, now boasts modern maritime patrol aircraft and anti-submarine helicopters. New MPAs with advanced sensors patrol vast ocean areas, tracking vessels and providing real-time intelligence. AW-159 Wildcat helicopters operating from frigates, hunt submarines and extend the fleet's reach. Amphibious helicopters and UAVs add flexibility for troop transport and persistent surveillance. Drones provide real-time video, enhancing situational awareness without risking pilots. This integrated air wing gives the Navy a multidimensional view of the battle space. The Philippine Navy is now smarter, faster, and more responsive than ever before. Modern ships and aircraft are only as effective as the technology and people behind them. The Navy's new C4 ISR system links ships, aircraft, and shore stations into a single real-time operational picture. Commanders can now coordinate forces and respond to threats with unprecedented speed. State-of-the-art simulators and training centers prepare sailors for complex scenarios, from navigation to combat. Professional military education and overseas training foster technical excellence and strategic thinking. The Filipino sailor of 2025 is a skilled technician and critical thinker, not just a warrior. This investment in human capital ensures the Navy's effectiveness for decades to come. The true strength of the Navy lies in its people and their mastery of new technology. The Navy's transformation is amplified by strong alliances. The Mutual Defense Treaty with the United States remains the cornerstone, with joint exercises and ship transfers boosting capability. Japan is a key partner, providing vessels and expertise, and conducting regular joint drills. Australia, South Korea, India, and European nations have all deepened security cooperation, from shipbuilding to joint patrols. The acquisition of the BrahMos missile from India marks a new level of defense partnership. These alliances multiply the Navy's strength and send a clear message: the Philippines is not alone. A web of partnerships deters aggression and upholds the rule of law in the Indo-Pacific. The Navy stands at the center of a growing coalition for regional security. China has taken notice of the Navy's rapid modernization. Once accustomed to operating unchallenged, Chinese vessels now face a credible Filipino deterrent: missile-armed ships, submarines, and coastal batteries. The presence of Philippine, American, and Japanese warships in joint patrols has forced Beijing to rethink its approach. China's gray zone tactics persist, but direct confrontations have become riskier and less frequent. The Philippines, once dismissed as a pushover, is now seen as a porcupine, small but bristling with defenses. This shift from vulnerability to deterrence is a strategic victory for Manila. The balance of power in the West Philippine Sea is beginning to change. The transformation of the Philippine Navy is more than just an upgrade in ships and technology. It is a powerful statement of national will, a visible commitment to defending the country's sovereignty, and a solid foundation for the nation's future security. This transformation signals to the world that the Philippines is determined to protect its interests and its people, no matter the challenges ahead. A strong navy is essential for safeguarding the nation's vast maritime territory, its abundant natural resources, and the livelihoods of millions of Filipinos who depend on the sea for food and income. Every patrol and every mission helps ensure that the country's waters remain safe from illegal activities and external threats. With a modernized fleet, the Philippines gains a stronger, more confident voice in international diplomacy. The Navy's growing capabilities earn respect from both allies and neighbors, opening doors to new partnerships and deeper cooperation in the region. The Navy's advanced ships, weapons and training now serve as a credible deterrent against aggression. These new capabilities help reduce the risk of conflict by making any hostile action against the Philippines a far more difficult and costly endeavor. As a result, the Philippines has emerged as a key player in maintaining a free and open Indo-Pacific. By working closely with allies and participating in joint exercises, the Navy helps ensure peace and stability across the region. While the Philippine Navy may not match China's fleet in sheer size or numbers, it is now equipped to make any potential attack costly, uncertain, and fraught with risk for any adversary. This new posture strengthens the country's ability to defend itself. The Navy's primary focus remains on defending the archipelago, protecting the nation's islands, coastlines, and people, rather than projecting power far from home. Every sailor and every ship is dedicated to this vital mission. Through ongoing modernization, strong alliances, and a renewed sense of national purpose, the Philippine Navy has become a surprise power in the region, one that China and others did not anticipate. This transformation is a source of pride for the entire nation. This new strength brings much-needed stability to the region, upholds the rule of law at sea, and secures the nation's future for generations. The Navy's vigilance ensures that the Philippines remain safe and sovereign. Today, the archipelago's shield stands stronger than ever before, with the Navy guarding the Philippines' shores and its people. This enduring commitment will protect the nation for generations to come, ensuring peace, prosperity, and freedom for all Filipinos.